one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I'm going to call, roll call is myself, Tom Simpson, I'm here. Pam is here.
I'm here.
Pam, is your last name Adrian?
Andrian.
Andrian. Okay, thank you. John?
Yes, sir.
No, look,
Marconi here.
Yeah. Is it Marconi or Lamar, L.A.?
No, that's my email. That's my Gmail. It's Marconi.
For some reason, Barbara just told me your name was different. I thought I was right. Jim Holfelder?
Here.
Okay, and Howard Mosley?
Here.
Okay, we're all here. We're here for reorganization of zoning. I make a motion that we accept we appoint John Ronamonte as solicitor. Do I have a second?
Second from Jim.
From Jim, okay. Do we have to can I do a voice vote here? I guess I can.
Well, that's the only way to do
it. Say that again, John Ronamonte?
That would be the only way to do it.
Voice vote? All those in favor?
Oh, sure.
Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Do I have to do all right, I'll do a poll. Pam?
I really don't know. I can't answer that.
Okay. What
would you like to know, Pam?
I'm not sure.
All
I
right.
just.
Okay. John Malconi? Yes?
Why don't you, why don't you, yes.
Yes.
Thomas, why don't you give a little bit of a background of things if everyone wants to hear that?
Yeah, that would
John,
be good.
Because they don't have an opportunity to know me or to meet me in person.
Yeah, I couldn't hear what John said. It was breaking up. Could you repeat what you said, John?
I just asked Thomas, why didn't he give a little bit of a discussion about why he chose me or what his reasoning is, and maybe that might bring about some other questions from the board members.
Oh, okay.
Okay. John Ronamonte was our solicitor before I was on zoning. I'm not sure what year he came on. I know that Tom Farrow, who was a commissioner, helped appoint him back. Do you remember, John, when you were appointed?
It was sometime prior to 2000.
Yeah, well, I know that. It was way past that because I was on zoning in 1997, and you were the solicitor when I came on. So I know he was on when I came on zoning, and he was on zoning for the 15 years with the 12th.
At least.
2012 is when he was replaced by John Wills, when we had a switch over from 3 members of the board to 5 members of the board. And 3 of the members didn't know John, and they knew Jay Wills. So they put Jay Wills on. And then Jay Wills was removed and Hugh Donahue was put on. And now Hugh Donahue wasn't real happy with him, and I asked John to come back because he did an excellent job for the township. That's why I wanted him back.
By way of background, I graduated Temple Law School in 1981. I've been practicing here in Delaware County ever since. My practice is mainly concerned with business matters, litigation, and land use and planning. I did work on the zoning hearing board for over 10 years. And had a great education doing that, and at the same time, got a good understanding of the township. I helped revise our zoning code. I did the rules and regulations for the zoning hearing board and a lot of other things strictly as a volunteer. So I'm well familiar with Upper Chi. It's a short drive from my office, and I like it here. Any questions?
Do you live in Chichester now, or exactly where are you from?
Actually, it's not encouraged to ever live in the township where you represent because you have an inherent conflict of interest. I'm actually living in Thornbury Township.
Thornbury. Okay. All right. And you said that you worked with Farrow, Mr. Farrow.
Mr. Farrell was on the, he was the chairman of the Board of Commissioners. And so he assisted in getting me appointed by the board. But I never worked actually for the township, at least the Board of Commissioners. I'd always worked as the solicitor to the Zoning Hearing Board, which of course, as you know, is a totally separate body from the Board of Commissioners.
Correct. Correct. Okay.
Pam, does that answer any questions?
Some of them.
Tom?
I don't really know. This is my first day, so
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
So, is the appointment typically made by the chair? And were there any other, does this have to be made public for anybody that would be interested in filling that position? And
Well,
I mean, we're not bypassing any of those stipulations, are we?
No, sir, they're definitely, they don't have to advertise. This is not like hiring a contractor to do physical work for the township. This is strictly, the Zoning Hearing Board is such a separate body that it gets to pick its own solicitor. And that's just
Okay.
personal preference.
Okay.
And I'm dischargeable at will. So if you don't like what I'm doing, you can all get together and kick me out.
Tom,
We'll at least
Now, I
let you
can
get through
say-
this meeting.
All right,
I
I
have a
can
question.
also say, are there any other persons that want to, you as members can say, I want John Doe as solicitor. It doesn't have to be just one person. I recommend John Rodamonte.
Okay, Tom, I have a question for you in reference
Sure.
to the previous solicitor. Could you
Yeah.
give us more details on the problem you had with him, and were there any other issues besides the one that you mentioned earlier? Because you just did a real fast synopsis of
Well, I
of
had
how you
two
felt.
issues, and I'm not sure I should say that at a public meeting. I can show you the information. I can give you the stenographer's report and show you that I was unhappy with what he had done for us.
Leave it go at that, Tom.
That's right.
Yeah, I
Good advice, actually. I don't think that should be aired out public
Right.
when dealing with
Correct.
matters of employment.
Right.
Okay.
Well, the zoning hearing
Yeah.
board has to have a solicitor. So you ought to pick somebody. And I'm already
Pam,
familiar with,
did you have a question, Pam?
yeah, I actually saw the other solicitor. I was on a meeting, the one about the signs on the ramp at 95.
Yeah.
And I totally agreed with him, actually, because
Oh
I
no,
went out.
he had some good points on that. Well, I could tell you.
Thomas, may I interject? This is totally personal preference. And Hugh Donahue is a friend of mine. I know Hugh Donahue. He's a good lawyer, great litigator. And he makes but it's all about personal preference, just like who you hire for your own lawyer.
Okay.
Okay. John Malcone. John Rodamonte, solicitor,
Yes, sir.
or no? Yes, okay. How about Jim Hallfelder?
Yes.
Yes. Howard?
Abstain. because I don't have a lot of information about the first one, so I'm going to abstain.
Okay. Pam, going to abstain?
Yeah, I think that's actually a good idea because I don't have a lot of information either.
Okay, we have 3 to 5. John Ronamonte is our solicitor for this year. John, would you take over the meeting and call for chairman?
Yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate your
Oh,
confidence.
myself, yes. I'm sorry. That's the 3. Okay, thank you.
I'm going to inquire of the zoning hearing board whether or not they would appoint Thomas Simpson as chairman of this meeting to conduct the meeting. And it's merely administrative. Do I have the consent of the members of the board that Thomas Simpson act as the chairman and the secretary of this meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. That's unanimous. So now I'm going to call for nominations for election of officer. Do I have a nomination for chairman? Anyone can nominate. Thomas, anybody want to nominate someone for chairman of the board of the zoning hearing board, please?
I nominate Tom Simpson.
All right, thank you. And who was that nominated Tom?
Jim Holfelder.
Thank you, Jim. All right. Is there any discussion? If not, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simpson, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Miss Andrian, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Mosley,
Yes.
Mr. Holfelder,
Yes.
and Mr. Marconi.
Yes.
All right, Tom Simpson is the chairman for this year. And is there any nominations for the position of secretary of the zoning hearing board?
Now, I should ask Pam, do you want to be secretary?
No, thank you. I'm just starting. Maybe next time.
Okay, yeah, of course, Barb had put you down as chairman or as secretary. That's just because you taken over the position of the secretary from last time.
It's a very
Well,
helpful
right
for the
now-
zoning hearing board to have a secretary to take care of advertising and the like.
Right, that would be corresponding secretary.
That's right.
Now, I have been doing the corresponding secretary's job, but I would like to pass it off to somebody else. And I would be happy to teach you exactly what you have to do and how you put it in the paper and that sort of thing. But we need to have one of our members be that.
And there's a lot of
Corresponding
support. There's a lot of support here in the township too. As you know,
Could you
Barb,
give us a quick rundown of that position?
you work with the secretary,
Sure.
you send out correspondence after an opinion is drafted. Actually, I'll do all that. But it's essentially keeping the calendar to make sure that the meetings are kept on time and within the time frame that are required by the law. You work with me and you work with Tom and also with the secretary. So it's just somebody to assist in watching the calendar, make sure things are done on time, question things when they feel that they're wrong so that there's no mistakes made, and an appeal goes unnoticed and doesn't get heard, and they get an automatic approval, a deemed approval. Guard against mistakes.
That's basically what
also-
Barbara has been doing, correct? Barbara?
Okay, yes.
Well,
Right.
she's been doing part of that. And also the corresponding secretary, if they see something deficient in the application or they need to have, we need pictures to show us pictures at your appointment or your hearing, your application, when you present it before us, it would help your case if you brought in pictures or if you did this or did. In other words, you would be able to tell them your plot plan isn't correct. You need to show us the side yard setback. You look at the plan and if there's a problem, now Barb has been taking a lot of this over, but the corresponding secretary should be doing that, corresponding with the applicant. If you need to do that sort of thing, it's not a real hard thing to do.
But it's a real good job because it allows you to understand the application before the night comes. So you really can participate. And you're a gatekeeper. So you assist the applicant, because they are members of our community, in making sure their application has all the things that are necessary to help them get their variance or special exception or whatever it is they're here before the board for.
And these would be for the people who actually want to do something that has to come before the zoning board.
That's right. When
How
they
much-
file their application.
Yeah. How much time would a job like that consist of? 'Cause, I mean, I'm kind of considering it, but my time is kind of crunchy right now. I'm kind of busy, so I don't want to. I don't want to take on something and not be able to fulfill it
Most-
adequately.
Most applications come in clean. Barbara will find them, or Charlie Romali will address any problems. Very rarely do we have a problem come through where you have to correspond with the applicant. But you do write up the application to be put in the paper. That's what the corresponding secretary does. In other words, it'll say side yard setback is 15 feet in R2. They're asking for 12 feet. And I can show you, or I can give you hundreds of the ones I've done before, and you can just copy from those. Side yard setbacks, front yard setbacks, size of the property isn't correct. They're asking for rather than 30% of the coverage, they're asking for 33% coverage. They're asking
But
small
remember,
things.
yeah, you wouldn't
But
be
you have to
expected
write that
to know
up.
that. You wouldn't be expected to know anything, but you're going to have Charlie Romali's rejection. And that's where you get all your information.
Right.
Okay.
So Howard, you're willing to do that?
Right now, I don't want to take on something that I can't do adequately. Are there possibility of having a partner or somebody else on the zoning board that will work with me?
Well, Barb will
Oh,
be
you
here to
definitely
help
will
you.
have me.
And you have
You will
Tom,
have me do it.
Huh?
I will definitely be helping you.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Okay.
I'd like to nominate Howard Mosley for that position.
Corresponding secretary.
Corresponding secretary.
thank you. Is that Jim? Is that right? Is that
John.
Jim? John. Okay, John, thank you. And do we have a second, please?
Second.
I said second. All right,
Okay.
Pam can do second.
And we'll call the matter before the board. Mr. Mosley as corresponding secretary. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you. And now, Thomas, correct me if I'm not mistaken, that the time of our meeting and the day of the month was considered for this evening's meeting. Is that correct? The
Yes,
change?
that was given to me by the township manager. This is the first earliest he could do it in January. Now,
No, we understand. Yeah.
our meetings are going to be the first Tuesday of every month.
Beginning at 7:00 p.m. Is that correct?
Correct.
Oh.
Which is being changed from Monday.
Okay.
Correct, because now you can go out on 3-day weekend.
I like that.
I know everybody did. That was the thing.
I'd like to make sure that was adopted by resolution, if I may, please. And so therefore, I would ask for a second for that. It was already adopted by the board?
By
Yes.
the commissioners.
Well, it's up to us to pick our own schedule. So we want to
Oh,
make sure
okay.
we adopt that. So, Thomas, you've moved to have the date changed to the first Tuesday of every month at 7:00 p.m. And do I have a second? John, do I have a second there?
I'll second that.
All right, thank you, John. And call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
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 It sounds
Aye.
unanimous. Opposed? None? Thank you. Seeing no other votes. And at this time, Thomas, you could move to adopt the resolution of adjournment, if you wish.
Well, actually, first, if there's any public comments, is there anybody out there listening to our meeting, virtual meeting, that would like to
Well,
make comments? state your name and your address.
Hearing none. Tom, would you like to move for adjournment?
Give them a minute, just a
Okay.
minute. Thinking they may have a problem calling in. I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Thank you, gentlemen, ladies, for your confidence.
Thank you,
And,
everyone.
hopefully I'm satisfactory. If not, kick me out.
There
Okay.
you go.
Thank you all.
We're gonna have a tight
Thank you,
rope on
guys.
you.
All
I
right.
appreciate
Good night.
it, guys.
Thank you.
Good
All
night.
right.
Night.
Thanks.